a language?
Mm, I do. Well, do create things on my own, but not or to personalize it for like comparisons. Um, I have this chart activity. It's related to the travel chapter, so they say like how many siblings they have, how many times they've gone to another country, and then I have a number of adjectives of a good traveler. Then they rate themselves on those categories. Then with a partner, they talk about their numbers, and then they have to write sentences about, well, I am more generous than my partner, or less honest, or whatever, however they rated themselves, and so that's just for the comparative structure. So that's one I've designed that usually works pretty well because they get to actually think about themselves.
Which we like to do.
Yes. I think of some other of my. Yeah, I'm at my home computer, and so most of my files are on my
that's
work computer. Let's see if I can. What I have here. And that's just a syllabus.
so most of what you're creating are in class.
Oh yeah, and I never really finished the typical class. Most of my presentations are PowerPoints.
Okay.
That I've created or modified from publisher supplied things, but
Are you showing a video in class, or is that something they're doing outside?
Both. I'm well, that's more in second year. They have these. We're using Facetas, a Vista's product, Vista Higher Learning product for our second year, and they have short movies. I use those in class and have questions for them to be listening for, and just basically comprehension check. In the first year, we have the short culture videos that are supplied by Cengage, and so they have some kind of dry but easy to comprehend.
Right.
Anyway, like in the first chapter, it has material about the United States, Spanish spoken in the United States. So it has a little San Antonio segment, a Chicago segment, and a Miami segment, I think. So it talks about the differences between the Spanish in those areas and the Spanish-speaking population in those areas. But that's also, well, I just use illegal YouTube things. So songs, I have videos with the subtitles of songs, and this I don't worry about the copyright things.
So how much time would you spend either by a week or by semester cultivating or modifying your own content, your own material for teaching?
Modifying, because probably only at this point for my PowerPoints, I have them pretty much in the form that I want, and I would maybe only spend like an hour changing what I already have, because I would like to to do more because some of them are outdated. So because the cultural elements, I need to update the pop singers and stuff like that. So, but I don't spend that much time changing those. When I think of a new one or a new idea, sometimes I get ideas at conferences or things like that. I mean, might spend like 5 hours a week working on things like that.
And then
most of my time is grading and.
Okay. And once you create something, it sounds like limited updating because of time constraints. So maybe
exactly.
once every semester, an update.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I'm
so
a bad teacher in that regard.
So. No, not at all. Time is a limited and precious resource. So if you can look at your screen, I'm going to share my screen and pull up, again, some very low fidelity images to facilitate this next part of our conversation.
Okay.
We're going to talk about content discovery, and meaning how would you want to discover all of the content and resources available for your adopted product? So let's see. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so I promised you low fidelity. Hopefully you're not disappointed. It is very low fidelity because, again, these are just some very rough mock-ups that we are using to facilitate these next set of questions that I'm asking. So if the idea is for you to discover content, either for an instructor resource or for what's available for your students, how would you get started on this screen?
Well, what I'm doing right now is just scanning through the folders. And I'd say what interests me more, like the art and culture folder, that's where I would go first. I see there are folders for different topics like the food and travel and shopping and family, and it looks like they're kind of ranked in ascending order because in our book, school is the first real chapter, then family is the second real chapter. And
so you would think
is this an interactive screen? Can I click on a folder just to see what's in it, or?
No, nothing
Okay.
is in the folder. But if you did click on it, what would you expect to find there?
So like art and culture, I guess I would expect thumbnails of different works by Hispanic artists, visual arts by Hispanic artists, and maybe an activity to go with those. In the content chapters de compras, I would think there'd be vocabulary images. Usually it's clothes shopping that they talk about in the de compras, which is usually hard for me because I don't really care about clothes vocabulary. But they also get colors and things like that, and they describe the people and what they're wearing. So I guess I would expect those kinds of images. In the house folder, I have a PowerPoint where they take a little tour of what turns out to be one of those micro houses, because the whole house is inside this water tank thing. Oh. It's a revealed at the end, but then that's just working with vocabulary. I have them say, well, what do you see in this picture and stuff like that. How many armchairs